Guys, what's up? It's Thomas McCollum from Silversmith Productions, and for today's interview, we're going to look at the No Culture icons. You probably heard of them. I know we have. It was really cool interviewing them, so just watch that, and afterwards, make sure to follow us on our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the social medias. And just a quick reminder, we shot all this on Zoom, so we made sure everybody was safe, and I just hope you enjoy it. Keep on rocking, guys.
Would all the members of No Culture Icons introduce themselves? And who you are in the band?
I'm Brandon. I'm the drummer.
Okay, I'm Josh. I'm the lead singer and rhythm guitarist.
I'm Richard. I play lead guitar for No Culture Icons.
All right. How are you doing during this quarantine?
Well, I've been staying up pretty late, waking up pretty late. After that, kind of just been playing the drums for like 4 hours a day. Like, that's my goal.
I've been trying to keep myself busy. Yeah, just like, trying to keep myself from getting, too used to this routine of just like waking up, staying in bed. So like, trying to stay healthy, trying to, play guitar, write songs and stuff.
I've slept more than I have in the last 2 years, which is great. It's not at the right time. Like, I'm on a fully reversed schedule than what I should be. I feel like that just kind of happens. Otherwise, yeah, I think pretty good, all things considered. Miss jamming with the boys, but
Yeah.
is what it is.
How has the quarantine affected you mentally?
Honestly, it hasn't affected me mentally like that bad. I mean, like, there's been a couple times here and there where, like, I don't know, my girlfriend will be asleep and it's like 1 a.m. and I kind of just in my own thoughts. But other than that, I've been staying pretty busy, pretty positive about everything, trying to stay safe as much as I can.
Yeah, I feel like it's just like there's a lot because you can't like see all your friends and all that. So it's a heavier time for sure. But I think aside from like just not being able to like finish our program in school and stuff like that, I've been pretty okay. There's just a lot of like idle time. I don't really know what to do with myself. So,
And what advice would you give to someone who can't handle like long periods of self-isolation?
I would just, try and find like a hobby, as much as a cliche as that sound, like, whatever you feel like, whether it be collecting something or drawing, even just like working out, just something to kind of get your mind off of that we're actually going through something pretty big.
yeah.
Because sometimes my mind will slip away that this is actually happening because I'm just so focused on what I need to do throughout the day.
Yeah, I feel like just like finding an outlet for what you're going through, because like everyone's experience with this is different. Like, some people are fine because they're normally pretty isolated anyway, but like other people who are like very social are obviously struggling a lot more through this. But I feel like just like finding some way to output what you're feeling and what you're thinking is really important, because it's really easy now to just like kind of shut yourself down.
Yeah, I definitely have like someone you can, vent to for sure.
Oh yeah.
Or even just like writing, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's also important to keep in mind that like this isn't the new normal, bro. Like there's gonna be an end to it. So just like, just like holding on to that fact, I think is definitely like helpful. It's been helpful for me, just like knowing that like there's gonna be a
It's gonna
point
be,
where like
it'll be over sometime.
there's an end point. There's an end point.
How are you guys working together as a band during the quarantine?
Well, I think we try and stay in contact like as much as we can.
Yeah, group chat's buzzing.
I mean, we just sent our first single off to get mixed, so we kind of have to be talking like about what's going on. That's basically it. We have some like we have a couple demos that I've just been, writing my actual drum parts to, so that when we can record it, it's all polished.
Yeah, we kind of are just going through and like, if I write something, I'm sending it to them, or if they're doing that. I'm waiting on some emails, boys. Just saying.
Dude, I can't record my drums.
No, I know.
It's still downloading. Your demo
Really?
is still downloading.
I
don't
sent
know
them it
what's
like
going
3
on.
weeks ago. That's nuts.
It's
It's not that big.
yeah, that's what I'm
Uh,
saying.
I
It
know.
opens
It's
every
weird.
time for me.
Anyway,
I
so
know
we
the
get to a point
troubles.
where like, if I have something written, I like will just send it off and hear back. But it's hard to work as a team right now.
Yeah, like
Like we're talking, like our merch order got postponed because the guys like prints and everything have been shut down because of this, and
Yeah.
it's a crazy time.
I'll also add like it's like extra tough for us since this quarantine because like we were like just starting to like pick up shows and like we were
Oh, yeah,
like
we were
just starting to
planning-
like get on the move.
yeah, we were
Like,
planning like a little tour. Like we were in the middle
Yeah.
of booking, you can say, and shit got crazy.
Yeah, we had a big show coming up with
Selfish things,
Certainty,
certainty,
Selfish.
hold close. Yeah, it'd been
Close.
crazy.
Like, that was a big show and we were looking forward to that. But it got canceled because of quarantine. So like it hit us pretty hard,
Definitely.
which sucks. But
And,
like
like-
we've just been like trying to keep busy.
Yeah,
But yeah, quarantine hit us pretty hard.
definitely. We had like a lot of material we wanted to record, and we could have, and
Yeah.
just backlashed on us. Like we were getting an engineer to come do guitars for us,
Oh yeah.
and then
The
we got
studio
shit
Viking
on,
himself.
but I was a little skeptic about us doing it ourselves, and then, but I think we got, like, I'm pretty proud of everything we've done. So it sucks, but it definitely made us like a little bit more stronger, a little bit more self-dependable as a band. It's like, oh, we actually don't need an engineer to record guitars,
hmm
kind of.
How did you guys decide to form like as a band?
Last year, us three were in another band that kind of went nowhere. And then heading into this year, we're like, yeah, we should like get something going, maybe a bit more heavier, punkier. And yeah, so we kind of just hopped into Jam Space and we just started plugging away on some songs.
Yeah, it kind of came together pretty organically, I think.
Yeah, these guys have friggin' known each other for like
a decade or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it kind of like, it just kind of happened where we used to jam like within that other band. The three of us would like play heavier stuff and like goof around, and then we're kind of just like, Brandon and I were talking about putting together a metal band this year, and that didn't end up happening, but we did put together this, which was, I think, as close as we got. But that's
Yeah, we all also kind of listen to similar music.
Okay, what are some of the inspirations for your work, for your music?
I feel like we all kind of draw from different areas. Like a lot of the inspiration for like writing stuff comes from a lot of like the older, I've been listening to a lot more like older pop punk stuff recently, and stuff like that has helped with kind of the writing process. Or even just like, yeah, just random things that are like, hey, this riff sounds cool. And then I send it off to Richard and he comes up with a lead or something like that. So I guess a lot of inspiration comes from, for me at least, from just like other musicians. Have Mercy is a really big band for me. And a lot of their like the way that their songs flow or something I strive to like have.
I'm not even sure. Like I try and, obviously I'm inspired by people, but when I'm writing our music, I try and have my own voice. But obviously, like I'll try and bring in what inspires me into the song. Like if like this drummer I really like, if I like what he's doing, I'll try and listen in, practice what he's doing, figure out what he's doing, and then possibly like throw that into a song or like do a variation of what he's doing in a song.
Well, I think it's pretty interesting because like even like within our own band, like we listen to similar things, but like outside of that, we all draw like from like a very wide range of music. So like we like take all of the influences. Like I like to listen to a lot of like pop stuff, a little bit of R&B and stuff like that. And I know Brandon likes his heavy metal stuff. And like we all kind of like draw inspiration from that, and we like create like our own beast.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
Yeah.
different. It's like people. I know a couple bands that are very like Rush inspired, and you can hear it in their riffs. But Richard, he's like you said, he's kind of more into pop, so that's where his writing aspect comes in. He gets some nice hooks on the lead, and Josh is very like pop punk orientated, so that's where a lot of the main riffs come from. And I like to throw it down pretty heavy or kind of complicated on the drums, but I try and make it musically serve the song right, So
What gear do you use?
Good question. Yeah, we're pretty into gear. I have like a shelf of pedals just behind me here, but yeah, Richard's got his Jazz Master.
This is my baby. This is my baby. Mexican Jazz Master. Oh,
Yeah,
That's
love
nice.
it.
broke students,
She's a
but
beast.
yeah.
She's a beast.
yeah, I use like Sabian cymbals, but I kind of want to get into Meinl because they're very, very great. I play Pearl drums, but I have 2 Pearl drum kits. I'd like to sell both and possibly get a nice Tama kit because Tama makes freaking great drum kits. And I play Vic Firth sticks because they're great.
Yeah, boy. I use a Telly typically for like live stuff. Our most recent recording was on I have a thin line with P90s. Gives a little more beef, I find. And then I have actually pedals with me. Big fan of JHS. His stuff, like for any distortion or any like overdrive, I'm using those. So yeah.
So Josh, which pedal's like your favorite out of all of the pedals you have?
Oh man, that's a hard one. I think probably Morning Glory, like just like as versatile as it is. Man, I could go on for this for like an hour, but
Please do.
it's just like, man, if I cannot preach enough that JHS Morning Glory, it's like it handles like low gain really well, but also you can rip the volume up and turn on the high gain, and it's like almost a distortion level of overdrive. Just really cool and works really well with like humbuckers, single coils. It rips too. So, ooh, exciting stuff.
What music do you listen to on your downtime?
I've been listening to a lot of math rock recently, like Chon, Covet, American Football. They're all sick. But, there's been a couple Alicia Keys songs I downloaded that, I don't know, her voice is
baby.
great. Her voice is great. So, and honestly, just any good music.
Yeah, I found I have a lot of time to just like actually sit and listen to music because normally I'm only really listening to music while I'm like driving or in like little bursts when I'm just able to. But now I have so much time that I can sit down and I can like do an album front to back, which is fantastic. So I found a lot of like old music I really used to love listening to, and like the old Story So Far and some of the real Friends records. I'm just going back to front to back with those. But also August Burns Red just put out a new album like a couple weeks ago, and it's fire. Like it's
they're so good. I love
and,
August Burns Red.
yeah. And then same sort of deal with like the random pop hits, but rediscovered this artist Dagny, and she's so sick, and she's a fire voice. So yeah, that's just like randomly in there with all the heavy stuff.
For me, I've been listening to a lot of Benny Blanco, his Friends Keep Secret EP, some Tiny Moving Parts, just for the sweet tapping. I've been listening to a lot of Pup recently.
Pup?
Just because, Pup's a
Boy.
band.
Yeah,
Just
they're
'cause, like,
sick.
I don't know, it's such like a unique writing style. It's like so like raw and like
Aggressive.
unfiltered.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so like he talks about like some like really like hardcore stuff and like stuff that like you wouldn't really think would get to the audience, but it does, and like people like relate to it and they love it, which is super cool. I've also been listening to Bob Weir from the Grateful Dead.
Nice.
Dude, it's so good. Holy smokes. It's just like him on an acoustic and like doing some folk tunes and like some classic Grateful Dead stuff.
Yep.
That stuff is crazy.
Nice.
Yeah, like I've
He's a
also
big-
been throwing on some Meshuggah. I forget the fucking album. Oh, I swore. What album is this? Oh, Chaosphere. Yeah, I just recently went through that. And
Hey, yeah, what can you say about the single that you recently recorded?
She's called Greenlight. This is a song Richard actually wrote, and then we kind of like adapted it. It was like he wrote it on an acoustic guitar and had a little demo of it. And so we just kind of were like, how can we make this faster, heavier, and a little more fun for Brandon to drum to? Yeah. And a lot of that credit also goes to our old bassist, Dylan, who's recently decided to leave the band. But
he laid it down pretty good.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he
Very
really
good
have helped with
foundation.
that feel. And yeah, it's a cool song. Like I'm not often like pumped about the music that I've worked on in the past, but this one I'm like,
Yeah,
ready
I'm
to
really
Yeah.
proud of this one. It's like, it's kind of our vibe, but our first single, we were doing another one that's a little bit more heavy. Then we're like, should we do this one instead? And we all agreed because it's like a little more mainstream, if you say, but you know, it's got the heavy crunch tones. It's got some solos. It's actually got a lot of solos, but
Yeah. We definitely took our time with this song and like
definitely
really,
took our
like-
time with our song.
yeah, we definitely like hopefully you can hear it in the single. Like we took time with like each individual bit, like all the guitars, the like, you know, the way we recorded it and like the production behind it.
Yeah,
Hopefully you can like hear how much like thought and detail we put into it.
I was gonna say when we came in to record it, we kind of already knew what we were doing for this song, like production wise. We kind of already had an idea.
Yeah, it also helped. We have like performed this song. Like that was one of the first like 3 originals that we had that we were performing regularly. So we kind of got the pre-production through even just like how it flows on stage and like how the audience is reacting to it. So we had like a pretty solid idea of what we wanted to sound like even before we laid down like drums on the first day. So
Exactly.
Yeah, I think this track will give like a pretty good reflection of
What our
our
sound.
live show, just like energy wise and like, you know, production wise, like
Yeah, and what
we really
have
try to spend a lot of
offer.
time on our songs. Yeah.
Like it's very groovy, but at the same time, like you can definitely pick out, you know, that I'm not trying to toot our own horns, but that we all have like certain skills. Like near the end of the song, it's like, oh, like they can play. It's not just all straightforward type things. So try and make a good song, but we try and show our skill at the same time, because that's kind of what attracts, I guess, fans now. You know, you gotta be pretty good at what you do.
Do you think online live shows or interviews might help boost your social media following?
Oh man, yeah. So at this point, we had a bit of a talk like before all of this kind of got really heavy, where like we were kind of just like, they're like, oh, it's a thing in the States, but we're kind of okay for now. And we're like, how do we, if this hits, like, how do we kind of adapt to this? It was a conversation we would have liked to have finished, but didn't. But through it, I feel like we kind of got down the basis of like, a lot of people now are doing, like they're doing performances in Zoom and stuff like that, where they're actually like able to play together, even though they're like not in the same building as each other, which is sick. And so, yeah, I think interviews like this, really just anything that's getting us in contact with people or able to actually like have a voice with people that want to know what's up with our band and stuff like that is absolutely going to help us out there. So
Yeah, we've kind of been quiet on social media in like the last month or so, but that's kind of we're just thinking of what we're going to like post to connect with the people, and we've definitely been talking about doing the like live sets, but you know, we got to figure out how to do that, figure out what equipment we need, you know. We're probably gonna have to talk more about it, but I feel like it is kind of like it would attract people for sure. Like it doesn't need to be a live stream, but if it's like, oh, they're all playing like on Zoom together, like that's cool. Let's look at this.
Yeah, it'll be tough, especially like trying to get stuff online, because there's such like a saturation right now, like people posting so much right now because we're in quarantine. Like we were talking about this with our program actually, like about like how much, like there's so much content right now because of quarantine, and people are just like, how are we going to stay afloat, and like how are we going to compete,
stay
with
relevant,
all the other content online, right? Like what are we offering that's different from all the other content? So like we're just trying to talk it through and like see what we can do to really just put our name out there and just, you know, show people what we've got.
What is the meaning behind the name of the band?
All right, so we're gonna talk about our boy Dylan for a second. Man, so yeah, we were starting to get like some jams together. We actually wrote our first song before, like almost had it polished before we actually settled on a name. And then we had our bassist Dylan at the time had a list on his phone of just like songs he'd written down and stuff like that, for like just kind of, you know, what he liked to listen to and what his ideas were for another band that he was in, like actually for like our program at school. Yeah, No Culture Icons kind of came out of just like, we looked at this list and we're like, why did they pass on this? This name's sick. It's also a song. I can't remember who by, but I know the band's not active anymore, which is a shame. That's it. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. That's kind of it. We also just kind of like liked the way that it kind of flows, I think.
Yeah, it kind of just, it flows well.
I like
if you want to put some meaning into it, you know, No Culture Icons, kind of just, we have no culture, so we're feral dogs that are icons, basically. So
we're uncultured.
Yeah, we're uncultured swines, if you may.
I really like our name. I think it was like, you know, it's very like edgy and like it kind of like, I don't know, I feel like it's got like a shock factor to it, right? Like No Culture Icon.
We're really into our acronym, which is we're calling it NCIS. It's a lot of free marketing for the band, so we're down.
Where can we find you on social media?
What is our Instagram?
At No Culture Icons Band on Facebook and Instagram.
We don't have a Twitter yet. What's our Bandcamp?
Oh, let me pull that up. Our Bandcamp is, I believe it's just No Culture
Icons. Yeah.
And we have our first demo. Stay with me up on there.
Cool.
What are ways people can support you guys while they're stuck at home?
Once we get this single out, having people listen to that is going to be huge. My dog's freaking out upstairs. So once we have that out, just like, we want to hear what people think about it too. Like, we don't want to just kind of put stuff out and then leave it there, right? We want to know what's going on with the people who are listening, what we can do to like outreach more. So if people want like live stuff, we can do live stuff or stuff like that. So just like people communicating with us is going to be huge.
Yeah, hopefully if our merch comes in on time, we might do like, you know, maybe a giveaway type thing.
Yeah.
Like with the single, you know, we might, I don't know how, I think you can put merch up on Bandcamp, so we might do that, but it might just be like local deliveries only, and we would, you know, they support us, you know, they get a nice hello from us, a little chit chat and a nice shirt.
From 6 feet away.
Yeah, from 6. I'll make sure to have a little shirt shooter they have at like baseball games. yeah, like hopefully when the merch comes in, support us through that. Possibly, we might throw in some cool ass stickers too that they can just get for free with the shirt type thing, because those don't cost too much. But any support
Any support's good support.
yeah, exactly. A follow on Instagram, it's like, oh nice, another one, awesome. So any support.
Come out to our live shows when they happen.
Yeah.
And whenever they might start happening again.
So excited.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's where we strive. So come see our live show whenever that is.
Yeah, that big show got rescheduled in October, so fingers crossed that we can play that, but I'm not too sure how everything's looking.
We'll see.
What do you miss most about live shows?
So much, man. Like
everything.
The crowd.
I miss the crowd. I miss one of the last shows we played was actually at London Music Hall for the Fanshawe Share the Land, and that was just like so much fun. And man, being able to just jump around with people.
Yeah, jam with your friends on. You're basically just jamming with your friends on stage, and it's a good atmosphere. There's literally nothing like everything else is so stressful, but once it's time to play, it's so rewarding.
Yeah. Oh
yeah. At least once at every show there's been a mosh pit, so I miss the crowd jumping.
Yeah. Just the energy, man.
Yeah, the whole vibe.
What would you like to see happen after the pandemic with your band?
Well, hopefully when this is all over, we all have some money that we can go into a studio and record the full EP. We definitely like to be playing live again, so booking.
We had some cool plans lined up for little runs through Ontario, getting some of the smaller towns too, where we have a lot of friends or have people who'd be interested in coming out to shows, or the towns that don't get a lot of shows. Was it Aurelia that we were talking about?
Oh yeah.
Where our buddy was like, if you played a show, literally everyone in the town is gonna come and you're gonna rip. I was like, sounds awesome. So hoping to get some of those exciting smaller opportunities, but as well as having some of our bigger shows, our Rum Runners ones lined up again, would be great.
We're definitely a live band, so anything to do with just being out in front of people and just making new friends, at the merch
exactly
table.
New friends with new bands. It's all about the connections. Yeah. But yeah, we were definitely stoked to hit the road. We were gonna rent a fucking U-Haul truck, and it's gonna be a nice old road trip for maybe a week. But it'd definitely be tough, but it's so worth it because you gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh yeah.
Is there anything you guys would like to add before we go?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if we're to plug one last thing, it's just when our single's out, just give her a spin.
Tell us what you think about it, and
shoot us a DM.
Alrighty, man, it was good chatting.
You
Thanks,
too.
guys.
See you, boys. Miss you.
Love you, buddy.
Peace out, everyone.